Hello and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineers. And as we're continuing in the Into the Dark scenario, I've just gotten a little bit of a salvage run back to Guppy over there. And we're heading towards the asteroid base in order to deposit our riches. Now, one downside is that I kind of need to do some upgrades to the base before I'm able to really use this Spectre as a resource gathering ship. As it is right now, I don't have a way that I can offload materials. My connector is simply there for power access and recharging. So we're going to need to upgrade the infrastructure of the base a little bit. As well, I want to do some upgrades to the Spectre itself. I think I believe I can, set it up to be a little bit of a mining ship. Now, it wouldn't be that elegant of a miner, and it probably wouldn't be able to do any tunnel mining. But that's not really relevant here in the asteroid field, because the majority of the stuff you're going to be doing is surface scraping. And, you know, like, it's ore deposits like this iron. All you need to do is just scrape away at the surface a little bit, and you got it. So I think that I can set that up, maybe move my, my lights on the front a little bit, and get it working. So, since the last episode, I have fully welded up the solar tower, and I have added on a few additional solar panels. So now, when we are running, as in the basic refinery and the basic assembler are going full bore, we are power neutral, essentially. Maybe slightly power positive, but at least we're not discharging. So that the base can run, at least when the sun's up. When it's not, we just turn everything off and just wait for the sun to come back up. But it is sunrise, so we are good to go and to start doing some upgrades to the base. Thinking about what I want to do here, because we don't have much in terms of exposed conveyorage available. We got one back here with the basic refinery. And I could squirrel something back there, like pack it in like an H2O2 or something like that. Because I don't need to have access to that directly. It just needs to be in the grid, and then I'll get resources from it eventually. But I could also put that right here. I do need a full assembler, and I need a full refinery. And I'm thinking about how much space I have left in this direction. Because if I start putting out full refinery and full assembler in this direction, I'm going to run out of space real fast. And I'm probably going to have to place them into this little outcropping of iron that I have here. Which, stuff floating away. So, let's just grab some steel plate. A little bit of steel plate, a little bit of interior plate. And we will grab some production blocks. Mainly some refineries, some assemblers. We do have also these advanced static drills and such. We have these static drills. We're going to be using them in the future. And realistically, I could install one of these drills here. Theoretically, I could have an infinite little supply of iron by placing one of these drills down and connecting it up to the conveyor system here, which I might want to do. Okay, first off, we need to think about a way and a place where I can dock the Spectre. It needs to be far enough away from the solar tower that I don't need to worry about it, and that I can expand the solar tower probably a full block downwards and like a full block to the side, and it still wouldn't be in the way. So I'm thinking it needs to be probably at least like 5 or 6 blocks out. Oh, random floating iron. And then it's like we're having an eclipse here. And then we can have the connector to it. So since I've already started to run conveyorage this way, why don't I continue doing that? We could go immediately into an assembler. Like so. We could even do an industrial assembler to make it look cool. Just cuz. And then from there, we could go directly into a refinery. Even an industrial refinery. Because again, looks good. And it's not too buried into the iron. I just need to do a little bit of mining. But if I placed it there, and I was connected up here, that's probably enough clearance. Even if this was a whole another block, 2 blocks lower, I think when this thing moved around, it wouldn't interact, wouldn't hit. Okay, so that's where we're going to place stuff. So, a key thing to do, if you're ever going to be making large objects like this, don't do it yourself. That is a very boring way to build. Grab a welder, place a welder down, and make the welder do it for you. So we're gonna get the materials we need for a welder. We need 2 computers, it seems. So we'll grab those and get the welder built up. And then all you need to do is just turn on the welder. And now this industrial assembler is getting built. Now it should push all the resources it has for it immediately. And so then we could just go like this. And we can go like this. And now that'll build. And we don't have to think about it at all. Like, boom, it's done. I'll just have to wait. And in the meantime, I can clear out some of this iron that's on this edge here, so that there is a spot for me to put down my industrial refinery. Oh, and the assembler is done. And in that time, I was able to carve out enough of an area that I think I should be able to fit the refinery in there. Grab some steel plate. Oh, that's on that machine. Let's grab some steel plate off of here just so I can help offload this thing a little bit. And rebuild these floors that I had to take out in order to get access to the iron underneath it. And this can come down a little bit more. And then we can place a floor there. Perfect. And now, a little bit more back here. Ah! Jesus. Oh, combat phase is now active, so I'm sorry I destroyed my flooring. You don't need to go into combat for that. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Do I have any steel plate left in this? Yes, I do. Okay. Yes. Replace that steel plate. Because to align with this, it needs to actually go back this way. But it doesn't matter if it's inside of that stone a little bit. That's fine. And the... actually, no. It's going to be right there. Because that's the connector point is on that. So it's going to line up this way. So it's going to be actually slightly forward from the industrial assembler. That's fine. It can be right there. And it'll nicely fit with a little bit of space in the back so I can put in modules. Excellent. Now the same thing. You do not, under any circumstance, want to build the thing yourself. So we're going to run a conveyor of some kind, somehow. over there and get the welder in place. Probably right... Yeah, right there. We'll be fine. Yeah, I'll get a little bit of the floor as well. I'll eventually want to get that built up anyway, so... Might as well. And now that we have this industrial assembler, what we can do is we can go to the other assembler, basic one, on here, and we can set it to co-op. So when I go to the industrial assembler, I can now select blocks. So I can go in here and go for welder and for conveyor. It was like 2 straights and a corner, wherever the hell it is. Just doing another straight to the pile. Now this is doing its thing, but then also the basic assembler is grabbing some of those and helping out. So we are massively increased our building prowess. Alright, online. Toggle block on. It's going to get the floor a little bit, but that's fine. I'm eventually going to build those up. And then we can go into here, industrial assembler, and we can go to refinery, industrial refinery, click it into action. And it's going to go to town, building. Next thing. We can grab... Unfortunately, that's using up all the steel plate, so I think we can go up here and grab some out of this cargo container. And we need a little bit of interior plate. We can continue our design here. So I think docking to the top of there will work. Now, the question is... I think I just put connector. I don't think I'm going to be mining such huge amounts that I need to put a sorter to push my inventory out, and then a connector on top of the sorter. Because I'm also wanting to be able to, say, grab resources from this to move it around as well, and maybe I'm going to be using this as to ferry resources back and forth somewhere else in the future. So I think for now, we can always upgrade it. We can place a connector on here. And that should be all that we need. And it also keeps us a block away from the solar tower. Which we could always raise up, but that's annoying. But here we go. This thing is getting built up slowly here. And we just gotta wait for the... assembler and refinery to do its work. In the meantime, we can get this thing transferred over. We can just cut this connector down and use its bits to rebuild this connector. And voila. And then a simple little shimmy shim over here into our new docking port. Wait, automated something. Automated light transport, I think it was. There's an enemy out there we're going to have to watch out for. And we can dock and turn off our charging. And then in a minute here, when this thing is done, which it just needs some motors and metal grids, we will have victory. And be able to transfer all of our resources down to our storage. There we go. Full refinery. Yes. Online. Now I can cut back the welder as we don't need it anymore. Get all this resources put away. And the cargo from the Spectre, we should be able to go and grab those medium cargo containers and pull everything in. Hell yeah! Get the connectors from those, get that. Oh, but now we're out of cargo space. It's always something. You always got to keep upgrading something. Okay, cargo! I'm thinking back here I'm going to hide the H2O2. And I could hide this here. So if I place the small cargo container there, the H2O2 can go there. And that tucks it away nicely in behind. Alternatively, I could go a large cargo. And that does look pretty nice back there, actually. Where do I want to tuck away my H2O2, though? I'd like it to be standing up. Or do I? Or do I just put it on the end over here? We'll put cargo right here. Large cargo container at the back. I think we can start to investigate the front end of the Spectre here, of how we can improve its ability to gather resources for us. So this light bar is very nice, but it's in the way, as we do have access to some small ports. So we have a drill, and we could put a drill. Yeah, we can't fit 2 drills on here. Looks like, wait, at least in between the thrusters in the front. We could just put 1 drill in the center, like that. And that's probably our best choice. But it's not going to be able to align with any of this stuff. So I think what we need to do is lower this ore detector by 1 block. We need to do we need to shave back these? I know for certain I can go in here and there is conveyor access along here somewhere. Right there. I can get conveyor access. But I was kind of saving that for some forward-mounted guns in the future. But conceivably, I could run conveyor coming forward to be able to go into the side of a drill that's dead center here. And then I put spotlights on either side, maybe out over here on the ion thrusters themselves. I think that'll work. We would need to get rid of the little nose that I have, but let's see how it works. Let's clean this up and get this thing able to mine. Now we can take the drill, place it there in the center, and then we should be able to just put a corner here, and that should cover up the drill. Get the large steel tube, and the drill is piped. Excellent. Alright, so now with the stuff that I removed, I do need to, and I should probably set up my second bar here for armor work. So we'll go welder, grinder, and then all the different shapes of armor, and then scaffolding. We can clean up the armor work here in the front, make it look good by grabbing that blue and battered. cleaning up that armor shape. Wonderful. Then we just need to find a place to put another ore detector and some spotlights from the spotlight pack. So the ore detector has to be front facing so that it is able to see the asteroids that I'm aiming it at. So I'll probably just cut away a little bit of armor here, and I think tucking it in there will be fine. I think that works. We'll have to check the script to make sure, but that should be all right. And then we'll turn this to black for the spotlights. For the spotlights, we can go on the sides here, probably. Yeah, we can do a classic spotlight on either side like that. And 45 degrees spotlight. Oh, that's actually quite kind of cool. But classic spotlight facing off to the side like that on either side. Should be enough to see where I'm going. It might not have the bulletproof glass. It might not have the overall angle that the old one had, because the old one did have ones at 45 degrees. So I may need to put in some of these 45 degree spotlights, which I could quite easily tuck them in, actually on the side. Oh, I can almost get them on the side of the drill. It would work on this side right here. It's just because I'd have the conveyor access on that side. But I can tuck them in right here on either side. So I can have some additional light. And where are the hitbox for these? These are a bit weird because they're actually placed while their model is here. Their placement point is here. So they're a bit weird to target. Because that's the armor that's there. So it's actually here, isn't it? God, these are hard to build. Why are these 45 degrees so hard to build? Okay, seriously, I have no idea how I'm supposed to target this thing. Because you can see that it's like, it's occupying that space. But the model is off to the side to make it look cool. But if I target this space, it doesn't work. And that's just the armor tip that's there. Oh, that's actually really annoying. Okay, I guess those are unbuilt there for the rest of time, because I have no idea how the hell I'm actually supposed to build those up. But at least we have a mining ship now. And I believe this will work with our ore detector 2. It's using that to scanning. So we should be able to, if we put our block tools into our bar, should be able to unclip here, which I think I have to change that, turn off that event controller for now, because it is just more bothersome than useful at the moment. We should be able to get to mining. Ho 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 ho, baby! Give me a good chunk of iron. I can feel this thing getting sluggish the more I mine. Inventory is nice and full. And, oh, I didn't get some of the thruster components out before I went mining. Well, I should go and deposit those. But now, I can just come back in here for a landing. Oh my god, I'm so sluggish now that I'm so heavy. And, dock on up. And my refinery are just ripping away through that iron. Oh, excellent. Absolutely wonderful. And in the meantime, we can do a little bit of inventory management. We can go for the large cargo. And we're going to transfer absolutely every last piece of everything that we have into that cargo container. There we go. Are we high and empty? We should just see the 2 refineries working away. Large cargo, the O2H2, and the turrets, which have their ammo into it. And that's it. Pretty good results so far for episode 2. Got a good amount of supplies built up. But with this, we can definitely go into our industrial assembler here. And we can start setting some of these quotas. Now, nothing high, just 100. But we can start just making sure we have a good amount of stuff on hand at any one time, so that if I want to build, I can just take, and it'll automatically make enough to keep a stockpile. But for steel plate, that'll be the only one I'll set for 1,000. So I always have a good amount of steel plate on hand. Alright, and that means this is the different things we need to make. And we'll always have 100 of everything on hand and 1,000 steel plate. Man. Whoop. A little bit wonky to walk up here, but plunk ourselves down. Oh, we got a good little platform here. Soaking up some solar. Refining. We got a ship upgraded to do some mining. Only thing we're missing now is that H2O2, which we should be able to get down relatively quick. The question is where to put it. Theoretically, I can bury it into the stone here. Right. It needs to be one down from there. I can place it there, but that's not connecting to the conveyorage. If I bring my spectator camera over here, you can see there's conveyor there. There's also conveyor underneath, I want to say. Or no. No, there isn't conveyor underneath the industrial refinery. But I could, on either side, have it built buried into the terrain here, with it just the top of it sticking out. And how I can do this is all I need to do is get a little steel plate. I don't need to actually aim at the block where I want to put it. I just need to be able to aim along the top here and aim at the top. Because if I aim here, that forces it lower into the block that I'm aiming at. And now that is in line with the cargo container. There we go. And I can get rid of the scaffolding. And then I have my O2H2 nice and buried away, where I don't have to worry about it. nice and out of the way. And then everything, I just grab the materials and the base automatically starts winding up and making more. To always keep that stockpile of 100 of everything. To make my life easy. Anytime I want to, I just build a new component. Yeah, this is actually coming along quite nicely, this little base. Now, in between this episode and the next, I'll probably head off and go get some more resources with the Spectre. And go do some ice mining and stuff to get this H2O2 filled up a little bit so I can get some power. I get some hydrogen there. And we're actually recharging the battery a little bit. This is great, even though our machines are running at full bore. So we technically don't need the Spectre here because everything's charging. But the next thing is to do a little bit of a layout for the future ship. So I'm contemplating which direction do I want to take it. Because I do need to build off of this stuff in a direction away from the solar tower, which I have some iron floating around the solar tower. I'm guessing past the iron here and out. Because eventually what I think I'll do is I'll raise this up by one, put a conveyor maybe just there, so that way I can run tubing this way. But if I run this out a ways, I then have enough space that I can start building a ship while still connected to the base and getting power from it, which would be awesome. And I believe that should be enough clearance there. And we can start to lay it out. So I'm thinking we're basically going to build something akin to the Spectre, but hydrogen and large grid. So hydrogen here, we're going to grab the hydrogen thrusters. We're going to warfare large hydrogen thrusters. Ooh, this is from the warfare DLC editions. Oh, those look cool. Are they larger than the regular hydrogen thrusters? These are 3 blocks long, and these are... they look like they're 4, right? Let me just see. They go out to there, and these go out to here. Yeah, they're 4 blocks. We'll do the 3 block long one. 3 block long ones, because that'll be a little bit easier for us to use and make everything fit. And then we got tanks, which we'll just get some hydrogen tanks. Okay, so I had a plan that we're going to have 1 cargo container in this thing, 1 large cargo container, which is a lot of space, actually. So we shouldn't have to worry about having space available for picking up resources and bringing it back to any of our orbital facilities. And also we have to worry about the fact that not only will our cargo weigh stuff, but also our hydrogen tanks we have the heavy gases mod, so our hydrogen tanks are going to be heavy as well, which is not a good thing. I'm not sure if I want that immediately. I guess there's only one. I gotta just get started with building it somewhere. Large cargo container. So my thought was I'd have 4 large thrusters pointing downwards. And what I'm going to do for all of this stuff is I'm going to buffer everything with a conveyor junction off the sides. And what I could do here is just strut this over a little bit and then down to make sure this stays attached so that I can cut this away and I can put the conveyor junction there. Because eventually there's going to be something here, but I'm not sure how wide I want to put this. And I was thinking, after that, I'd have a tank forward and aft. And then the same thing. Junction in every direction. Giving me lots of in-between space. And what you can use those spaces for is batteries, H2O2s, gyros, that kind of stuff. And then we're going to put 4 large thrusters downwards. And you can see this gives it a nice wide stance. And it should give it enough of a thrust that it can land nicely on planets. And also, this, I believe this gives me enough room here that I can sneak in a landing gear right there. And it can align with the bottom of the thruster. But I'm also tempted to do what I did for the Spectre and create my own landing gear out of armor slopes and a magnetic plate. Because then you can do more sleek landing gears. Because you can just drop this down. And then we can just do... wait, actually it should be right here. I just have to scroll through. I can do a magnetic plate. And then I can get the other armor shapes and say bring it back up in a steep like that. And I think that looks pretty slick as well. So we'll probably do something like this. Yeah, this looks nice and sleek. Yeah. 4 large thrusters, 4 legs to land on, 2 hydrogen tanks, 1 large cargo container. These voids here, I'm not sure what to fill up with yet. It might actually just be more fuel. Like, more hydrogen thrust. Because I'm going to have to use a lot of fuel to break orbit and such. And transfer from planet to planet. Other than that, facing backwards, we should be able to get some large thrusters directly on... There's that large port there, directly on the side port of this other thruster. Like so. And like so. And then facing upwards, we can do just small thrusters. Probably just scattered throughout the vessel. We'll put junction up. And then we can just... How do I want to do this? They can be buried into the ceiling armor. So, about there. This sort of thing. Ta-da. That. We can have, of course, another pair of larges for breaking thrust, I think. We are essentially just making the Spectre, but large grid hydro. And you can see that this is going to be a very long project, because there's no way I'm building this in this episode, or even the next, or maybe it'll be the episode after that. But all that together, I think, should give me a fairly strong landing craft. And then right along here, I can have a little bit of a cockpit area and stairs down to the bottom, and possibly in these areas right here, I could do some refining. I could put in some, like, a refinery, just a regular old refinery. Unsure how I want to sneak that thing in there, but it could be possible to fit it in. Fit a refinery on each side, and I could land on the planet, plop this baby down, spin it up, have some slap some wind turbines nearby just to give it planetary power, and then sit there and act as a a resource base for me while I build up. You know, reconnect it there and slice off the roof here. Because I could easily just throw a connector down on the cargo, and I could have an atmospheric miner connected to the top of this thing that it could carry around as like a carrier. So I think the next thing to do for this is to build some sort of cockpit area. Now, this thing actually looks really interesting with the space just got real rendering. Every single little vertice of this thing is gleaming in the sun, so it's hard to look at. But we have the area here at the front where what I could do is I could just go industrial cockpit or something like that, and you just put it on and you're done. Just slap a cockpit on it, sort of thing. Which is the easy way. I wouldn't need to pressurize it. I wouldn't need to do anything fun like that. Which is definitely the easy way. It's kind of the way I want to do it right now. Because this would be a lot of work to get this thing all nicely pressurized and everything. Cyclops Hauler. Okay. But, you know, that's the fun part. So, let's give this at least a go here. I'm thinking I pull the armor forward. Not sure if I want the junction there, but we can have a little bit of a cockpit area by closing that off. I might need to access that so I can get access to, like, put like a small cargo there so I can access cargo, or put a survival kit in here. And it is getting really hard to see because the sun is out of position. And I'm thinking we need windows on this thing. So we'll get my tools out here and we'll go window, and we're going to go 1x1 face. 1x1 flat, 1x1 face, 1x2 flat, 1x2 face, and the 2x3 flat in this area. So, in total, we're going to have some sort of armor block coming forward, and I think it's going to come an extra 2 blocks out, and we're going to have a control seat about here or here, sort of thing. And so that when you sit in this control seat, which should be about here, you're able to see to your right past the thruster and see to your left past the thruster. That's the goal. So if I go, say, one more out, let's see what I can do for that for shaping. Immediately in front of it, do I want a flat? Or do I want this already to be sloping? This is a very good question. Because I could start with a flat and then slope on top. And that would give me really good upwards view. Not so good for the downwards, but I mean, that's fine. Doesn't need to be good for downwards view. I think this looks pretty good. And oh god, it is so shiny in this bloom settings. Then I believe from here I should be able to, if I do the 1x1 face, this will go back on a 45-degree angle. So if I do that, it's going to go there, which is occupying this block, and then it's going to be occupying this block, and then I could go straight back from there. So I could wrap it around that way. That would probably be good, and I could just drop the whole thing back by 1. Yeah. So we'll just cut it off to here. And we'll go back to our windows. And we'll do a flat invert. And a 1x1 slope. And then we'll do face. And then we're going to go face invert. Then just another face. That drops it back to there. And from here, I'm just going to cut this because we'll shape that a little bit better. And we can do our regular slope going back this way. Yeah. Now when we sit in the seat right here, we should be able to see all up and to our left and our right here. And we could even potentially see straight up if I put some glass on the ceiling here. Hop into it here. And it is it's too dark. I can't see anything. God damn it. I guess it's time we gotta put some lights up around the base because I literally cannot see anything. There we go. Now we can see this thing somewhat in the middle of the night. But with the sun setting on my asteroid base, we're going to have to go into low power mode to survive the night. As we can see the batteries here, they are probably depleting. Yep, fully depleted in a day. So we're going to have to go into low power mode, shut down, not do very much refining or assembling overnight. But we did get some major progress done. We massively expanded the infrastructure of the base. We got a new assembler, new refinery, new cargo, got an H2O2 generator. We also got a new docking port for the Spectre. We upgraded the Spectre, so now I can do some resource runs, which I'll do some off camera to get some, you know, just a stockpile of resources back to the base. And we were able to lay out our next ship, which is probably going to be the drop ship that is going to carry me forward for a good duration of this playthrough. At least probably like the next, say, dozen episodes or so. Until we can make a more permanent base on one of the planets. Really make like a monster ship. But this thing's going to work in the meantime. But that's going to be the future. We're going to have to do a lot of work to get this thing built up. But thankfully, I am going to exploit the power of the static drill. I'm going to get one of these plugged into this iron here so I can have infinite iron. And then it'll with infinite iron coming into the system and the automatic quota on like the build quota on the assemblers, I'm just going to be able to fly over here and just weld my brain out. It's going to be fun. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching. Good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.